This is a really super specific message, okay? This is for somebody who you knew, whether you found out information or whatever it was, you knew that your person had chosen to kind of make things work with a karmic energy, okay? They almost wanted to evolve into like a soulmate energy connection, right? That's where their focus had been, okay? So it's a really specific message, okay? I'm hearing irreconcilable differences. So whatever happened with that connection, that it was destined to kind of yes, there might have, you know, all karmic energies have, there's a reason for them to be in your cycles of healing, you know. It's really bringing out kind of the shadow element of you, so you can truly heal on a deep level, right? And if you resonate with the twin flame journey, then you'll understand that actually that's kind of probably even more intensified. Okay, so but with the obviously karmic energies, there's no evolving, right? There's not that, like, that soul, like that two consciousness. A soul is split into two consciousnesses. I can't say that right, you know what I mean. So really specific, okay? But I also feel like there's something about technology. Now, either, I don't know if you're communicating with this person currently, or whether there's some form of connection via online or something. Okay, maybe you don't know, maybe they're watching you or something. But someone they want to kind of speak their truth. Oh my God, no way! Just as I said, this Page of Swords, that's confirmation. That's exactly what it is. They're watching you on your, whether it's socials, your whatever you, there's something to do with online. Maybe you are in contact online, and they really want to speak their truth. They have been walking away from the past. They've been understanding that actually that karmic energy had been perpetuating this cycle that they were kind of allowing themselves to stay in. That was from a very survival state, from a very wounded state, from when they were younger. A lot of trauma they were playing out in that connection, okay? There's something about addictions as well. So truly, what they wanted to keep around was just a source of comfort, like deep comfort to their trauma. And it was something to do with addictions, okay? And they knew this. It's like they were thinking about it for a very long time. They recognized that something wasn't right there, okay? But then something happened, and it's kind of like it became their absolute comfort blanket. Like, if that was the one thing that like left, I think it honestly felt like something about their mental health was really affected. Okay, so whatever happened, so it's kind of like this is the one thing, like it was like the string that they were trying to hold on to of all the things that were falling apart. Or actually, it was like an internal thing that was taking place. It was like the internal tower. The High Priestess, I've also heard that it was then kind of mirrored on the outside as well, okay? King of Pentacles here. Maybe it was then that any kind of safety around them, you know, abundance was just, it kind of fell apart. So whatever they've been thinking about, they're definitely in like hiding mode right now, secret mode. So they're seeing you online. The Hanged Man, the Hermit. There's just this pause. Let's find out and understand what this is about. There's definitely been a pause, okay? Page of Wands. That could be something to do with the Ten of Pentacles there. Something to do with that addiction energy. So maybe someone's truly working through something right now. Yeah, look at this indecision. They don't know what action to take to move forward. They really don't. This is someone who really does get stuck in their head a lot, okay? And you'll remember that. You'll either have some kind of memory of it, or will have kind of picked up on that about them, okay? They're feeling your absence. They're really missing your presence. They want to change this. They really do. But what they're realizing as this is happening, this journey, again, it's a very personal journey to them. You're clearly mirroring something to them. With this wheel, it's kind of like they want to move from thoughts, thinking, to having the, like I said, having it in their physical, right? There's definitely some kind of, oh my God, the Hierophant has just come out with the High Priestess. I think that what's happening here, I think you're very on your path, very intuitive path. You could yourself, maybe you practice some kind of spiritual healing work or something, but it's really inspiring, this person to step up. Like, they're really learning a lot on a spiritual level. Justice. I've heard that you are their good karma, something along those lines. It's really interesting. Wow. Okay, let's see. That would be a two-way thing though. So yeah, 9 of Wands, the Hanged Man, they've had so much. I think that they've had way more than you realise that was taking place beneath the surface. A lot more that they did not speak on. Again, I'm seeing the energy of rehab maybe, or just therapy or something. Yeah, there's definitely something here about an addiction, okay? It's really coming through heavy. And it's something that they're finding their own, like, steadiness with. They're kind of reclaiming their power from it, okay? So it's not leading them, right? Instead, they're kind of grounding themselves. This is, whatever this has been taking a while, okay? The Sun. But it's kind of like they're really investing in themselves now. The Moon and the Ace of Wands. Sorry, the Ace of Swords. Okay, so the clarity's come through. They're finally understanding what's been happening. They're finally finding the truth of their journey, 4 of Wands. So they're understanding their path. I don't think they knew before. They didn't actually understand the levels of what this Hierophant energy is, of who they're here to embody. I've also just had come through that there's something really specific about their sexual kind of energy. They were into really specific kinks, if you will. And this is how they were playing out their trauma. Or they were trying to, you know, because I always say that's a very sacred way to kind of reclaim your power with any trauma that you've been through, right? When it comes to that specific energy. You know, when you're consciously honing in on that and allowing yourself to, you know, healthily utilize that energy. I think that this is what someone's understanding better. They're understanding their reasons for why they chose the choices that they did. Okay, the 4 of Wands here suggests they're really finding inner alignment right now. You know, and if this is you, then it's you, or it's somebody you connect to. Okay, Knight of Pentacles again. The Star. This is a really deep healing journey, because this isn't something that is just like done like this. This is clearly, I think that this is not even just, I think they've carried wounds that weren't even their own. You know, I'm talking like lifetimes, generations, you know, with that Hierophant and the High Priestess. This is like a spiritual connection. Whatever this is that I'm picking up on, truly a spiritual connection. I think that you can feel each other on that level, truly. You know, I don't think either of you have spoken to each other about the depth of your connection, but not to anybody else either, about what this connection truly is and truly means. The Fool, there's a new beginning, and it's going to require you to be in that space, in that more elevated kind of space of spiritual surety. So like grounding your spiritual knowingness now, what you've been evolving into, ascending into, if you will, here in your like physical vessel. That's what's going to allow this new beginning to come through for both of you, because you're going to understand what you went through on a higher level, the reasons for it on a higher level. I'm talking about coming into alignment here, not excusing behaviors and hurt, not like that. I'm talking about really understanding the higher level reason. All connections are spiritual. All connections will always have a purpose for you to ascend higher, for you to really learn justice. Yeah, all connections are karmic in a sense. You know, because they're all teaching you something. You're either learning together, or you're mirroring, or you know, or it can be really chaotic or whatever, and it's teaching you what needs to be healed. You know, lots of different connections out there, but this is really about you both really understanding your specific connection on a much higher level, right? But this is why someone's had to really understand their own journey on a higher level. Oh my God, the Empress. Wow. This Empress has leveled up. Like, she is really, if she's been taking time out, like as in for a while, like it's like almost like things have not been coming into fruition in like her physical, because everything that's been coming into fruition has been happening within her. The way she knows her worth, the Star again at the bottom of the deck, the way that she knows her worth now, she's so like within, it's kind of like I'm seeing such strong, firm sense of self. You know what I mean? I'm also hearing thick skin as well, so that's interesting. 9 of Cups, yeah, finally saying yes to your wishes, finally taking the actions and planting the seeds required for your wishes to come true now. This Empress energy, that's beautiful. And you're not afraid to, lovingly be honest about what that means for you, even in exchange, in connections. You're not afraid of, actually, no, this is what I want and this is what I require as well. Because you know that whoever's for you is for you, and if they're not, then, you've got the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Then that's a lesson, Wow. 5 of Cups. This is interesting. 5 of Cups and Queen of Pentacles. Someone really sees the value of this energy, and I think it's this Emperor. They're seeing the value of this energy, and they're feeling the loss of not making a decision for a long time. Almost like keeping the decision on the back burner. Okay, and they're feeling this. It's almost like they don't even know if they have that chance anymore. It's like they've grieved it already, but they haven't even given it a chance to try it. That's what it feels like. But again, that's their own healing journey. Let's just find out some more about that. Ooh. With that wheel though, things are changing. Ooh, Queen of Wands, interesting. Okay, things are changing. Someone's really understanding how actually this can be their reality. Oh. There was definitely a lot of others in the mix. This is something about that karmic energy that they were attracting this karmic energy before, 100%. There's just the Sun's at the bottom of the deck. So that is clarity coming through. So they are freeing themselves. There's joy here, celebration. Let's just find out some more, because I do feel like, especially with all the feminine energy that's coming through right now, it feels like you've been freeing yourself as well. You're finally liberating your divine feminine energy and saying, this is who and what I want. The Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. You're learning self-love. You're no longer trapped in this way of, it could have been, never, it's not going to be, or whatever. You're actually seeing your worth, and you're saying, actually, that can still take place. What I've desired this entire time. Ace of Wands, strength. 6 of Wands, hello. You are coming into success. And this is a lot of passion here with that Queen of Wands. And then with the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck, this is like no longer being trapped in whatever that karmic energy was. Whether it was within you, which could very well be why it's coming through so strongly, because you felt so connected to that karmic energy yourself. You're finally freeing yourself. You're not allowing yourself to sit in the sadness and the regret of it, of not being, the decision that was made, and you just sitting on the sidelines and, having to watch it or wait. It's none of that anymore. You're recognizing your worth. You're realizing, hold on, that version of who you were, she was healing, truly. You show lots of love to her too. This is why this Ace of Cups is here. There's been a lot of self-love, a lot of learning how to pour into yourself so you can finally say yes to yourself, your truth. This success, this is a lot of fire here. So it could be like fire sign energy. So, like with Leo season being so relevant right now. And don't forget, Leo is the sun, The sun is like the ultimate creator energy. It definitely feels like you've reestablished your own fire within, your drive, and rightly so, because you've done so in a way where you've really honored your healing. This is beautiful. It's really opening you up to something it's going to make you feel so much more fulfilled, truly. You're no longer, in that wounded feminine state where you were just so guards up and, so like overprotective, understandably, because of everything you'd been through, The abandonment wound was real, and I read something today, and it was like specifically for, I don't know if this is the same for male bodies, but what I read was to do with female bodies. When they're left in silence from their person, they can really, like, their body shuts down, their brain, their cortisol levels are rise sky high, their nervous system just completely shuts down, their brain starts to think that they're being, it said starved, right? So it's kind of like this really deep emotional wounding. This is what you've been clearing through. You've been healing from that trauma. That's deep trauma to heal from. Okay, and this is what you're finally freeing yourself from, so you can really finally honor the fires that are coming through. It's beautiful. Stay optimistic, right? Heart-to-heart conversation. You're learning how to converse from your heart space. You're learning how to be true to your heart. That takes strength. You're not afraid to shine your light anymore. You took a while, and you were in very soon. You were in kind of this energy of investing in yourself. That's why it took a while. This is something that you had to do for yourself, no matter how much you wanted to speak to your person or whatever. You had to, free yourself. Yeah, to free yourself. This is what you've been doing. And there is still this element of freeing yourself from kind of being kind of over vigilant when it comes to what actually is in your alignment, and it does want to feed your heart space, right? So understandably, boundaries are important. Reconciliation above the deck, okay? Boundaries are important, but also allow yourself to receive love, allow yourself to be loved, allow yourself to be happy. This could be the one. This is, you've already met the person that you're seeking. Again, reconciliation at the bottom of the deck. What I will say is, because it's what's happened in the past happened, you might be a bit hesitant, because you might, that kind of passed away, and how that made you feel, you know, not being chosen or whatever it was, might filter back through, and you might feel those feelings. So it's going to kind of bring something up in you, but again, that's just showing you what needs to be healed. You feel like it's taken so long, but actually, who have you become throughout this whole process? That was the whole point. That was the point. For you to become this empress, this queen of wands who's not afraid to go after her success. The courage you have gained, and it has nothing to do with someone else validating you anymore. You're not attached to someone else, and your worth depending on them seeing you. Look how much you've healed. Right? Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps that you are guided to take, right? That great love is that love of self as well, that healing family issues. Again, that's something to do that was coming through about that childhood trauma. I think there's been a lot of learning how to forgive your parents, or the love that you didn't receive, the protection that you didn't receive, again, very soon. Again, it's giving that Leo season energy, okay? That was new love cycle at the bottom of the deck as well. So I do think that this is a divine feminine energy being prepared. But what I don't know if you've realised that that's what's been happening, but also what you don't realise is your person has been doing the same thing through their choices. Give your relationship a chance. Whoever you're connected to, there's somebody who they will give, when their feelings are in there, or when they know that they want something, they will try it. That's why they tried with whoever was in the past. They really did try. It wasn't for the healthy reasons, they realised, but, you know, unrequited love at the bottom of the deck. This is a partnership that is worth working on, and you both know this. That's why this leap of faith, it's like you're both at the High Priestess and the Hierophant. You're both in that alignment where you're ready to say yes. Honeymoon. Holiday bliss together. Maybe they're still going through this, you know, maybe they're still breaking free or whatever with that free yourself card. But Divine Feminine, this is about you really, yeah, look, you deserve love. You're lovable. Knowing that you are lovable. Codependency, you don't need to attach to somebody else, especially if they're choosing their choices that, you know, are out of alignment with you, or simply just aren't you. You know, who are you choosing? What version of you are you choosing to love yourself? This is really a lot about self-love as well here, truly. So you might be coming into that season of learning how to truly honor all of your needs. Romantic needs too. Romance yourself, you know. Nothing is yet set in stone. Yeah. Like I say, there's this energy, that indecisive energy, that somebody's really feeling the regret and sadness. Luck is on your side. So don't think that, it's been so long and, you know, this isn't going to happen. Don't think like that. You need to stay optimistic. It's not about the person, the face, the name or whatever. It's about you really honing in on your divine alignment, your divine self, your connection to divine. Your hard work is paying off. It's not being for nothing. Whatever's coming, this fiery, new, passionate love, is going to come from yourself first. The fiery, passionate love you have of self and your path. There's something about your success path where you've had some losses, you've had some, you know, it's not gone, you know, straight, just like exactly what you wanted. You've had to learn through some losses. A win-win outcome is forecast. Libra and Sagittarius energy and Capricorn energy as well, actually. Okay, a personal issue reaches resolution. I wanted to come out. That said, hold your vision. There's really something here. It's like, I feel like there's a sadness beneath the surface, truly, but I don't think that adjustments are required. But I don't think you need to be sad. I think you need to recognize who you have become, the beauty of who you are. That's what's coming to the surface here, more than anything. And that's, again, the beauty of it. Again, Leo energy. Confidence is your key to success. Your confidence. a time for healing. Whatever pause is taking place, it's because it's giving you the time to really embody this version of yourself. You've never been this version of yourself. This is the whole point of this has been for you to really discover your light and not be afraid to shine it. It's time for you to really step into your bold, confident energy. A fiery climax approaches. New romantic cycle begins. I do feel a really underlying sadness here. So I do think that whoever this is right about now, you're feeling, you know, what hasn't come through. But the focus, the reason for this message here is to really recognize that actually you have become this absolute light. You need to step into that like lioness energy within you. Truly, that's what's coming through here. Because this is on the cards, the new romantic cycle, the Ace of Cups here. That is all, you know, the wish fulfillment. But it all starts with how are you fulfilling your own wishes? How are you putting yourself into that, you know, that path of purpose, you know? Your hard work is paying off, right? Adjustments are required. This is about you healing now within you so that the external can truly begin to match what's been happening within. There's going to be a time to really take time to attract in what you want on that heart level, right? But it comes from you realizing that you deserve that. This is who you've been becoming this entire time, preparing for this beautiful new beginning that's going to come through, you know, where you can make the effort, but from a place where actually you're not going to be attached anymore because you know your worth, you know you're worthy of this. You can allow yourself to have an open mind with what comes through because you're not suddenly attaching it to someone or something, because actually they need to evolve too into who they need to be for this connection, for this to be a sacred connection where it's not just perpetuating wounds and like traumas that you've known before. Right? This is something about really embodying your self-respect, your self-worth, knowing what your purpose is and shining that, truly. That's what this is about. It's beautiful, truly. And moving forward, yes, the love is there on the cards, okay? Right about now, stepping into your power and really loving yourself for that, embodying that. Your path of success is destined, truly, and it starts with the passion of your heart, your truth. And it's up to you now to really ask yourself, are you going to keep yourself stuck in this past version of whatever happened in the past, you know, even if currently there's anyone or anything trying to like keep you in that space, trapped in the mind? Or are you going to actually allow yourself to be happy now and decide, actually, yes, this is what I want, right? Really beautiful. And your person, he did come out, the Emperor, also came out with Judgment. This is someone, he's having a lot of awakenings to do with the past. He's understanding how he was guarded. He wasn't in his emotionally receptive and available place. He knows this. He was guarded, which is why he went to that energy that was mirroring that for him, you know, that guarded energy. And he had to learn his lessons. He's clearing through his own karma and he's coming into alignment with you, truly. He's understanding that he might have chosen money before as well. That's definitely something over love and the romanticized energy of wherever it was that he thought that he could bring through, just something that was a fantasy. He's healing this, and this is like some real realizations for him too, you know. He's having to really, it's like face the reality of these situations too. But again, you know, got the Emperor and the Empress here. You're both going through a real journey right now where you're accessing your divine selves. You're clearing through you know, the guarded energy, the wounded energy, the everything that was just you protecting yourselves at the end of the day. You're understanding that. I do think this healing family issues has to do with your person. I think they're really learning something about their family, their history, whatever it is, and having to heal through that, because that's something that's prevented them as well from really awakening to their true path. Okay, you're both coming into balance, so it's this connection. So it's self-focused now. Find that inner union is really like the key here, truly, okay? You've got this. Let me know if this message was for you. Sending love.